Hi, I'm Kim Fitnesschic. This is day 301. We're going to do yoga today. So, why should we do yoga? Well, all of us get stressed at times, and all of us have different things that annoy us. And yoga is a great way to calm down. So I've actually started teaching the kids that I work with as a behaviorist, yoga as a coping skill. At first I was like, oh, I don't think they'd want to do it, but now the kids are like asking to do it, and the parents like to do it, like to do the yoga with the kids. So yoga can be a great coping skill for the entire family. It doesn't have to be anything hard. It doesn't have to be anything challenging. If you look at, like most people would say, how can exercise calm you down? Well, let's think about this. We already know it's a proven fact that in the summer, the sunlight energizes you, like vitamin D, sun rays, it energizes you. If you exercise, it increases your serotonin level. One of the main things that they want depressed people to do is exercise because it increases serotonin levels. So when you think about as far as like trauma, anxiety, depression, any, ADHD, any of those types of things, it would make sense that yoga would be helpful as a coping skill. Here's the reasoning. When we look at the human body, it is very much like a computer system. You have receptors underneath your skin the whole way, all along, that take in sensory input. That sensory input is sent along the line to your brain. And this is just very basic, general, like just general. Sends it to your brain. Your brain has to process that information, decide what to do, and then it sends a signal message back down to that receptor that it came from and tells it what to do. That is going on the entire time. From the time we are born to the time we die, our bodies, brains are functioning like a computer system. What we see with a lot of the kids that have disabilities, ADHD, autism, Asperger's, multiple sclerosis, any of that stuff, we see that there is some type of kink in the sensory system. Like there is some issue that occurs. From kids with autism, and specifically my son, we did a lot of sensory integration with my son. I actually, before I had my son, for my master's paper at college, I did my master's project on sensory integration because I was really interested in sensory. I have my own sensory issues, so like most people do, you have sensory preferences, you have sensory things that you don't like. But it only becomes a problem when it becomes too much, like when they can't tolerate loud sounds or when they're crawling over people to get that input. So anyways, back to that. When you look at it from a sensory standpoint, there's a lot of sensory activities that can help regulate your sensory system. Whether it's vestibular, whether it's proprioceptive, whether it's auditory, all of that can be regulated through different activities. So from when you look at it from that, and when you look at chiropractic helps, keep the spine in alignment, and it helps release toxins, and same with massage, and same with acupuncture. All of that wellness stuff is proven to help remove toxins, help alignment. Yoga is doing the same thing, but it has to be done. It's teaching you to regulate your breathing. It is regulating your nervous system. So anyways, so we're gonna do, I could go on about this stuff forever. So we're gonna do 6 yoga poses. They're all for calming. So one of the things as a behaviorist, I'm sorry, I am going on, sorry. One of the things as a behaviorist we look at is, especially with kids with autism, is kids with autism that are nonverbal, you have no clue what's going on, no clue. You are paying attention solely to what their parents tell you, what their teachers or preschool teachers tell you, or what you observe. So you basically have to develop a hypothesis and then test it. You know, you got to watch what they're doing. You got to watch their nonverbals. If you sit down beside them and they move over like this, they're telling you it's too close. So you learn to watch nonverbals. So anyways, because I'm rambling on, that is, I don't even remember what the point of all that was at this point, because I can go on forever. But this is to help calm down. So, oh, I remember. Great. So when I'm working with kids, I can watch their nonverbals and I can tell if their sensory system is running too high or too low. That's another behavioral thing that we do is, how does your engine run? Is your engine running on high speed? Is your engine running on slow speed? I'm talking fast right now. My engine is running high. If there's a kid and they're like this, they're running high. If a kid's like, and they're running high. If a kid, I had one kid that would sit there and he would fall asleep at his desk. We literally watched him fall asleep. We ended up taking him out, having him do 20 jumping jacks, come back in, and then he was alert enough for class. So this is all stuff that when I started to think about it, I was like, oh my word, I've been doing this for 15 years already. It's just applying it in a different way. So these are activities that if a kid's like hyperactive, if a kid's, you know, running too high and you need them to calm down, these are the ones that you're going to do for them. If you have a kid that is lethargic, or if you are feeling lethargic yourself and you're like real low energy, these aren't ones you're going to want to do. However, if you're like irritable, anxious, these are ones you're going to want to do. So we're going to do 6 different ones. We're going to do downward dog, child's pose, cobra, corpse, standing forward bend, and eagle. So let's go. We're going to do 30 seconds on and 2 times through each one. Downward dog, your feet are hip width apart and you're bending over and you're putting your hands on the floor and you're trying to keep your legs straight, your head down, and your heels on the floor. And you're focusing on breathing. 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. And down. You're going to have your butt on your heels and your head on the floor. Your hands can either go out in front or they can come behind. If you can't put your butt on your heels, then just go like this to modify it. 3, 2, 1. Right. Cobra. My Google Calendar is coming up. There we go. Okay. Cobra, laying on the floor, and you're lifting up. And you're focusing on breathing. parts. Just kind of lay on the floor and relax. Palms up, feet up. When you're completely relaxed, you will notice your feet will go out towards the side.
Standing forward bend.
Coming up, we're going to get a standing forward bend. You can have your feet together or apart, and we're bending forward. Once again, if you can only go to here, then go to here.
3, 2, 1. Eagle.
Eagle. This one's a little bit harder. You're going to wrap your arm under and then bring it over and your hands together. And you're bringing your leg around and you're wrapping the foot around the back of your other foot. And you're balancing.
Three, 2, 1. Downward dog.
Okay, back to downward dog.
Three, 2, 1. Child's.
Child's pose on your knees. Sit your butt on your knees. And you're going to bring your head to the floor. Your arms can go out. Remember, if you can't do it like that, you can go like this, like on your own. You can also run stuff on.
3, 2, 1. Cobra.
Come in the cobra, lay on your belly. Put your arms palm down on the floor beside you and push up.
Three, 2, 1. Corpse.
Horse. Now flip over. Lay down. You're just going to relax your body. One of the best ways to relax is any muscle that you feel or notice is tight, tighten it up and then relax. You might have to do that a couple of times.
3, 2, 1. Standing forward bend.
Come up, go ahead and stand on forward bend.
Three, 2, 1. Eagle.
And then we're going to do eagle. So you can do your hands first. So our hand goes under, and then pops them, and then this leg is going to go behind. It's going to wrap over and behind.
Three, 2, 1. Completed July 20th,
And that's
2015,
it. So
5:19 p.m.
please like, share, comment, and have a great day. See you.